Spurs back on track tonight. Well, track being a term toward the bottom of the NBA. Playing Sacramento tonight, starting back on the road. Most of the guys, all but two, got a little bit of time off. Jeremy was busy one night last week. I don't know how long he stayed for the festivities. I don't know what kind of parties were going on in the blizzard that was Indianapolis over the weekend, because it certainly froze the game.
Dude. He had the trophy. I mean,
that's right. His team won the Rising Stars shoot around. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
or was it the skills challenge? What did they win?
It was the skills challenge.
That's right.
He was. Yeah. No, it was the Rising Stars.
You know what? We did not talk about it, and I want to talk about as we talk to Silver and Black every day at 7. The court. I'm going to give 80% correctness to you, and I'm going to still reserve 20% for me, and being it can, and you can see, and I want you to admit, because I've given you the win, that there is the potential for misuse.
I loved it. I thought it was cool how after whichever Jaylen Brown dunk, how it flipped to the Garden. You know what I mean? Like if you can do stuff like that, like on a moment's notice, like that is super cool.
Yeah, I see it. You're right. But it can be real at the wrong or inappropriate time, a little distracting.
Well, that's just like, too much, with great power comes great responsibility.
Right.
All right. You know what I mean? And that's really what this boils down to. But what I would posit, and maybe this is a future thing, if you're going to jump over whoever, I mean, pick the legend you're going to jump over, and it's going to be an ode to their All-Star win. I want the court to look like that day. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like
I get it. Yeah.
Like it needs to look exactly like that court. So if we can relive moments like that, seeing statistics, seeing information, I was totally about it. I did want to say, back to the Silver and Black of it all, when I put together this part of the rundown yesterday, the Spurs were 10.5-point underdogs.
Right? And what has happened since?
Oh, that has moved.
Which way?
So it's moved in our way. So it's actually moved steadily. It went from 10.5 to 10 to 9.5. As of now, sorry, I hope you got it when you did. Spurs are 9-point dogs.
Well, I have to reevaluate my my entire outlook on tonight's game. But before you do, before you decide to play any hard-earned, whatever it might be that you've hard-earned, I want you to listen to Keldon. This is Keldon yesterday in preparation to follow up the wonderful 11:44 start to this season.
Finish off strong, play together, play hard, play smart, and we're looking to just muck it up this last 27 games, get into people, and make the games dogfight.
So muck it up, play hard. What was it? What else was there?
Get in people's faces.
Get into people. I'd like to hear win a game. I know that's all. I know it's kind of down on the list of priorities. It seems up there at that pretty new rock, but maybe endeavor to not just muck it up and to get into people, but go and sell your soul for a couple of wins, baby. Go give something that you have not given yet, because obviously you haven't given enough.
Normally, I would just make fun of you for this and say you were being silly and too literal. I'm saying, Rob, of course the goal is to win a game. You know what I mean? Like you're playing semantics. Again, normally I would feel this way. I don't care what your profession is. I don't care what you do, what your career, your job, your line of work. If the first thing, when somebody says, like, what are your goals? If the first thing you say is to muck it up, you've lost me. Like, and I'm not willing to come to bat to defend you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if instead of, again, I don't want to play semantics, but if he had said something like, we want to play hard and we want to improve and you know what I mean? Like, we want to develop again. And you were like, well, he didn't say win games. Then I would come in here and I'd light you up. I'd be like, oh, dude, relax. I mean, obviously they're trying to, we want to muck it up. Like,
what? Seriously. No, but it is a reflection, I am sure, of what Pop has to preach after these just ongoing gut-stealing curb stompings I mean, just after you have just been battered and beaten, you have to alter your goals, at least on the inside. And I think Keldon is just reflecting what he's hearing post-game, pre-game. Like, okay, today, I know it's Denver. I know,
Yeah, baby.
Jeremy, I know you're going to be guarding Giannis tonight, but it's not about the W. It's about the I, the improvement. It's about taking that, and you hear that over and over, and you're like, well, it was bad, but at least I faced the challenge. I mean, I get it, but you get that kind of like you've been, I don't want to say hypnotized, but you start to take the mindset, well, at least I feel like we got better. Do you? Are you happy about that?
This is just a hard ride, man. This is a yeah, it's
See?
it's so hard to take anything positive away from this team right now that isn't Wemby related, which is an indictment on the team and the roster building of it all. No one is saying that you need to be the 4 seed right now in the West, but you have to be better than this. I mean, this is, do you not realize how low the bar is for you in our minds? We are so anxious to pretend that improvement is happening that we will take the teeniest, tiniest crumbs, the morsels here, and we will celebrate you. We will write the songs that children will sing centuries from now about the improvements that you have made, but you have somehow managed to under-deliver on our incredibly low expectations. It is a feat of masterful accomplishment in the worst possible way.
Well, they needed a break. This is what he had to say.
It's definitely, they preach the same things. We added some new things and new concepts and different ways to, look at things. So, it's just a refresh. I feel like everybody needed it. It's been a tough, grueling season. And, to get a little break, get away from everybody, and then come back and ready to work. Like, I miss my guys. Like, I missed them when they wasn't here with me, when we did not practice. I wasn't around them. I miss being there with them and, laughing and joking. So I'm glad to be back.
Good. They were
new concepts,
different
dude.
ways. Like, sometimes when you lose, you win. Except in the real world.
They drank some Mike's Secret stuff. You know what I mean, over the break. And now watch out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they added the new concept. So concepts is a word that people use when they just want you to be impressed. You know what I mean? It's just a fancy word for stuff. That's all it is. We added some new stuff. Okay, that's all it is. Like, nobody is impressed because you use the word concepts here. It's new stuff, but it's the same stuff. It's not Mike's Secret stuff. It is the same stuff that has led to only 11 wins as of February 22nd. It's impossible to believe, but somehow here we are.
Well, the good news is, and I think for the relatively short term, this will be an ongoing positive thing. Not too many guys are going to be busy on All-Star Weekend. So they did, while they might not have practiced a whole lot together, I think what Keldon said is reflected in Devin Vassell as one of the other of the three-headed beast of the Spurs. Spoke yesterday about what Pop had done with his team in the playbook on the break.
Yeah, we got some more plays. I think as he watched some more film, he's seen some stuff that we can exploit. So I'm excited to go out there and, for these new plays, for some of these new schemes and, to see how we do.
Extra special stuff coming now, baby. We got new plays, the extra special, the new leads are in.
We were in the lab. All right, we were cooking.
We've been labbing till now, and we busted them out, man.
We sprung. We got the credit card and we bought some extra VC, and we're good now. I mean, like, watch out. Here we come, and we're ready to rock. I mean, dude, come on. And you know what's going to be embarrassing? I mean, I don't know how it would be because, I mean, welcome to where we are. But, I mean, if they go out and lose by like 22 tonight, not that they're pounding their chest or anything, but this is, guys, stop. I mean, I'm just
buy into us.
Wow.
Thank you.
I
Evan.
don't know who.
That was restaurant quality. Perfect.
That was really, really aptly timed.
There's so much with the new plays.
I couldn't believe in them less, Rob. I really couldn't.
Well,
And that
I
bums me
beg
out.
to differ because it's not that you shouldn't believe. It's what you should be believing in. And I give you the great George Costanza of Seinfeld fame. It's not a lie if you believe it. Devin Vassell tells us how what will define a successful rest of the season to him.
I mean, more wins. I can say that.
Oh!
That's obvious. But I just feel like us playing together, us really coming together as a team and seeing, everything that we've worked on, coming to full circle. I feel like us being better on the offensive end, whether it's finding teammates and playing with each other, playing for each other, or on the defensive end, just getting more stops. Vic's been doing a tremendous job blocking shots, but on the perimeter, we got to hold people to get in, from their spots and, just really just picking it up on the defensive end.
Okay.
What'd you think?
Cool.
No, but at the very least, he led with win, and that should be obvious.
Yeah.
And then he talked about maybe passing to teammates. Gotcha. Wink, wink. Throw it more to the guy. And then finally, and I get with the way he did it. He brought up Wemby and defense, but he said, he's been doing a good job. But I got to do better. We got to do better. However you want to define it. I think when you think of what a team leader sounds like, it was Devin Vassell. That wasn't a lie. That was the truth. He spoke what real people see how you're going to be good. Now, whether they go do it or not, but just listen to the fundamental differences, the way Devin answered the question and Keldon answered the question. And I think that kind of defines and maybe exemplifies some of the problems the Spurs are dealing with.
I'm not going to say the Spurs have a culture problem. I think we throw that out way too, in a way too cavalier sense.
No, I didn't say culture problem, but I will say, I want to define this because I will say, I think Keldon views this as a very familial, fun environment. And I think that the guys are, in fact, friends. And I think that has been very much part of whatever process we're putting in the Spurs into. But this is a job, a profession where outcome is expected. And having a good time might be good for you to get through this hell. But I'm not having a good time no matter what happens. I want results. And this is a profession where you've already been paid more money than I will ever see in my lifetime. And if I get upset that I'm not seeing some wins because you're just feeling good about how, forgive me. And I think Devin Vassell understands, look, we got to win some basketball games first and foremost. It's getting better, crap.
Do you ever allow yourself to live too deeply in a fictional universe? Like
I never leave that universe.
No, but like you watch a movie and it ends.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, I get it. Yeah.
No, but you say to yourself, like, oh, well, they probably went and did this. And you just kind of envision
life. I think readers, guys that read books, you have to surmise when you finish a book. You've built this huge picture in your mind. So I think you get good at that. Yeah.
So something, not that I've thought about this every day of my life, but like you see, I've referenced the movie School of Rock before. And you know the general gist, Jack Black poses as a substitute teacher and the kids play in his rock band.
Wow. You just ruined it. What?
So imagine in that world, getting an actual teacher in there, and then the first day all the kids are just like goofing off, and
right? Like,
guys, look, we got to actually school.
Are you kidding? We're a successful rock band.
Like we got to actually
we
learn
won a
things
contest.
And, open your math books.
What?
You know what I mean? Like, and so to me, this kind of feels like that. It feels like Keldon's like, dude, I got my drumsticks, and I will appreciate Devin saying, yo, maybe we need to open up the geography textbook and let's learn about France for Wemby's sake. But like, just because we need to know this information.
But I love practice now. No, you don't. You think this is practice. It's not.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's almost like, okay, now we're on the road to functional. But to get there, to stay here, we actually have to do some functional things. We can't just continue to goof off and treat things like the substitute teacher that isn't actually a teacher still running the show.
Sacramento's a fun team to play against. They offer a very unique guy for Victor to see. Because Sabonis is not your typical big, though he does a lot of very big guy things. He's a double-double machine, rebounds, is not afraid to step back. He's one of my favorite little bigs in all of basketball. He really does have a skill set that if Wemby could match at some point with all that he's capable of doing, I think that would be a good aspiration to have. But at the same time, those guys with that kind of skill set, did you remember with the Wagner brothers, what they did to us the other day in Orlando? This kind of mobile big man looks like it's the kryptonite to Wemby. And there has been some talk about Wemby kind of hitting this rookie wall, maybe getting, the last couple of games. And then, he had a busy weekend, though he's had a couple of days to get a breath or two. I think it's worthy of watch. And if I'm Mike Brown with Sacramento, I am running my centers all over the place. I'm trying to get Wemby moving and tired because, quite frankly, he's all we got. So if I get him tired and in foul trouble, that's the best thing possible.
I think that that's a fair strategy. I think that it's a successful one. Although, to be fair and to be clear, it doesn't take much to employ a successful strategy against the Spurs right now. All you got to do is outmuck them. You know what I mean? That's what I would do.
That's
Keldon.
Keldon.
Like,
by the way, I do want to reflect on one of the what's the old adage? 2 negatives and a positive. Close with a positive.
I've never heard this.
It's in like the manager's handbook. How do you admonish and praise your employees all in one meeting? How do you let them walk out of the meeting going, am I nearly fired or did I just get a promotion? That's what you want their people to think. And so when you come in and you go, Jenkins, that project sucked. That was awful. You didn't play team. You didn't perform the proper stuff. Your TPS 5 files were all out of order. And if the report doesn't have the right cover page, we can never meet like this again. But that was a hell of a party you threw last week. This is where we're going. So
where was that cheese platter from?
The
cubes?
Oh,
they were the bomb.
Was that Havarti? Whoa. You know what you're doing. But if you step out of line, you're fired. But another cheese tray, and you might have a desk next to me. Anyway, This is where Keldon was. So they ask him about what I will call above and beyond Wemby because, there's high expectations, and he's lived up to most of them. I'm going to say right now, the success of the season is Blake Wesley. I will say that as we come into the close of the season, we have indeed found something. And it's Blake Wesley. They asked Keldon about Blake's continued growth.
He competes on the defensive end. I'm so proud of him. I feel like, I can attest and really like I feel where he came from. Being in the G League, playing in the G League, and then coming up and getting a chance. And he gets out there and competes, man. He gets on both ends of the court and tries to do the right thing every time. So I feel like when you come in with him on the second group, he's a big part of the group, energy-wise, on the defense and offensive end.
Their teammates there on that second group, Keldon Johnson speaking to young Blake Wesley, who I do believe is one of those guys where at the end of the day, the Spurs brain trust, no matter whether you trust them or not, can go, this guy's got something, and he is worthy of investment in time.
I like this question in the Brigade Bar from Cougs. What's the over-under on us going at least 5 minutes without scoring a point? So I won't set an over-under. I guess I will. I'll set it at 0.5. So, like, the question is 5-minute sequences in which the Spurs don't score a point. So, basically, will it happen?
Oh, it will.
Yes or no?
Will.
Okay.
And it'll happen
over.
Late in the third.
Okay. So, you're saying late in the third,
mm-hmm.
Spurs are going to go 5 minutes without scoring
I'm going to even pinpoint. I'll say about 9 minutes into the third. Right when the Spurs are in this little transition of starters and second unit who've played a couple of minutes, now we're trying to figure out who's going to win that last 10 seconds of the quarter. And that's when the Spurs screw it up defensively repeatedly. When they don't recognize who's in the court on the court with them, they can't fathom what part of the court they're in, and they give up a couple of fast break layups like they were falling asleep. It happens every game, and I expect it to happen again. Mark your watch. The 9-minute mark of the third.
Let's call that window, if you will, peak muck.
Peak muck.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the peak muck window for the Spurs. About 9 minutes left in the third. Okay.
Hence the title of today's Talking Silver and Black, because it has been indeed peak muck.
Also in the Brigade Bar, this is a great comment from Jesus de la Rosa. That's why you should subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can leave these comments. Yes. You brought up the "it's not a lie if you believe it" Costanza-ism. Jesus brought up, if you look annoyed, people think you're busy. That's another great one.
It works for me a lot.
What? Yeah, I'm not gonna bother him. He's dealing with something.
I did see that on Friday night. This is kind of a public service announcement. It looks like the weather's going to be good over the weekend, a little cooler than it will be today. But the Spurs are going to have a watch party out at that pretty new rock.
Yeah.
I think that might be. I mean, if you're going to have to go watch that, you might as well watch it with friends of like mind in an environment such as that. And if you haven't seen it out there, it is one of the unique things about San Antonio now. It is as nice as any NBA teams have. Now, there's glitz and glamour and shinier things out there, but as far as these facilities, it is one of those in the arms race of getting free agents, of which the Spurs are going to play a role sooner than later, we hope. That's a good thing. That's a good environment out there.